Good morning, family. Good afternoon, and good evening from anywhere you're watching this video from. So, I want to drop this video today. I want to talk about roof and house design, and also talk about some qualities and qualities. I'll talk. Those are the things I want to talk about today. You can see, well, design. When you are building a house, design are good. But you need to plan your design. That is why when you are building a house, you have a floor plan, you have building plan, and you have the roof plan. If you don't plan all those things very well, they will contradict each other. And later, it will give problem to one. It will give problem back to you. You will spend a lot of money. So even though you may not have a comprehensive roof plan, you may not have a comprehensive building plan for yourself, meaning that you don't have the floor plan, you don't have the building plan, you don't have the roof plan. You may have the sketch. Let the engineer advise you what will work for that your specific house. Some people will build a house. When they reach some certain level, it will start giving them problem. They will start manufacturing a lot of input and output that will weaken the house or disfigure the building or just bring an outlook that you don't even plan for. That is why you need to plan for all these things. It's very important to plan for all these things before you start. So, like for example, those people that are doing a penthouse is very fine, but it also brings its own problem when you don't plan it very well. It brings a lot of problem, especially for the building itself, the woodwork, and even the roofing. It brings a lot of problem. So I want to be showing some houses that will give problem. Most of what we are copying the western country. When they do a house, they used to do more of penthouse, but their own mode of roofing is different from Africa. The West there, when they do their woodwork, most of their woodwork is they use iron. There is polythene. After they do the iron or they do the woodwork, there is polythene. They will use to cover all the house first before they start mounting the roof, before they start installing the roof. That polythene will cover all the area of the wood, of the carcass, before they start installing the roof sheet itself. That is why even if there is escape of water through the roof itself, instead of to be going down to the house or damaging the POP, it will be falling on the polythene and the polythene will be expelling it outside. That is how they do their own house. When you watch their video, that's how. But that technology is not in Nigeria. Even though it comes to Nigeria, it will be more expensive. We may not be able to afford it. That is why we are using the woodwork and the roof itself. The woodwork and the roof itself is working. It's not leaking. It's not doing anything. It now depends on the design you do for your house. There is some designs that you do, your house will never leak, even though the woodwork is damaging, even though the woodwork is degrading under. As soon as the roof is there, it can never leak because it has lesser design. It's very free. It's a gable roof. You just fall water to the first side, this side, and the other side. Those one can never leak. You can never see a major leakage. Even though there is a leakage there, to me, it should just be a nail point. After you enter the roof, you will just see it physically where the nail point may be. There is a defect in the nail point. As soon as you just put sealant there, it seals forever. If there may be leakage, those are the leakage that you will see. You can never see a leakage of overlapping leakage, major leakage in those type of house. Even though the woodwork is degrading, it will still retain the quality of the roof and it will never leak because it's not having any design. So look at this picture I'm showing now. You can see that the house is a penthouse house. When you look that red arrow that I draw there, you can see the red arrow. You can see that roof is falling. You can see the roof slants to the wall, meaning that when the water is coming from the top, is going against the wall. So the wall will now be sending it back to you can see the gutter. The gutter is not too deep. It will be sending it back to where it's coming from, meaning that if the water hits the wall with a high velocity, it will be going against the friction. It will be going against the free flow, so there will be friction there. So that friction, if it's going against the free flow, instead of it to be going down, it's entering the water is entering the overlap where those roofs overlap each other. You see, the water is supposed to be going freely going freely via the overlap. But here now, when the water is hitting the wall of that penthouse, it will now be going against the overlap. And that water cannot flow freely against the roof coming down. It will be going through the overlap, or the water will just be going inside the house. It will just be falling. It will just be damaging the POP. So this is one defect that people usually do. Like this one now, you're not supposed to do this type of design here. This type of design is a very big error, and it's a red flag, because it will cause leakage. To just be like when you go inside this house now, when you go under it, you will never see any opening. You will never see any opening because everything is closed. But when rain is falling, you will just see that everywhere is leaking. What is causing this leakage? You can never detect it unless you are there when rain is falling. You now understand, okay, this is what is really happening here. This is a very big wahala. So this type of thing now, unless you now find a roof cement, you will now seal all this overlap. You seal all this overlap. Something that is not done. It's not ideal something to seal overlap, because in future you want to remove the roof, you want to do this, but you have to seal the overlap so that any water that is going against the wall, when it's going back, it will not be going inside the roof. So let me show you another picture of it. Okay, look at it now. So this is the clear picture. Look at it. Look at this water collector now. When this this down pipe now is taking water through this roof, you can see my arrow. It's entering the overlap. It's just going inside the roof directly. When the water is falling freely, it's hitting this wall. It's still going inside the roof. So this design are not ideal. So when you want to do a penthouse design, this is how you do it. You can see this one now. There is no any flowing against the wall. Everything is flowing perpendicular to the wall. So as the water is falling from the penthouse there, it's falling freely to this down roof and it's flowing freely down. There is no water. There is no any poline. There is no any curve that is flowing toward the wall. So we just put, you can see that black around the wall is called the felt. We just put felt there in case if there is any splash of water there that will be soaking from that joint that is made, so that any water will not be soaking. You can see here can never leak, but it may be soaking. That is why we have felt there. Even though you didn't put felt there, you may not have any leakage there to just be soaking the wall. But this felt now, it prevents the soaking of the wall. But you can never see any rainfall here that will send water against the overlap. Everything is flowing freely. So this is how everybody should take notes. If you are doing a penthouse, you should do it so that the water will flow freely, not flowing to the wall and the wall is sending it against the overlap. So that is what I really want to discuss today. I also want to discuss majorly on quality. You can see There is everything, there is quality. I went to one site. I can let me show you the woodwork of that site. Okay, this is the site. I went to that one site on Saturday. In fact, when I see the wood they are using for the house, I say, wow, this is superior. You can see the wood. Look at the 2x2. It's even thicker than most 2x3 that I used to see in many sites. This is a standard 2x2. This is the 2x2. This 2x2 they use it to do the ceiling. You can see where I wrote my woodwork of long span. That one is 2x3. They used to do. If you see the 3x3, if you see the 2x3, you would think is 4x5 or 4x4. Very thick, standard. I think the owner of this site, they bought the wood themselves and they cut it. They cut it according to what it is. You see, it's not that there is no full wood in the market, but most of the owner, they tend to buy the cheap one. If you see some 2x2, you can even break it with one hand. Very thin. So, and all those things, when you are using solo wood, I used to warn against solo wood. When you are using solo wood, no matter how it is, it will still affect you in future. Don't compare these days with olden days. Olden days, where our house lasts with zinc before, is that the wood are strong wood and they are thick wood. And if it is 2x2, 2x2 is 2x2. Not today that many people are selling 2x1. They call it 2x2. Some people are even selling less than 1x1. They are calling it 2x2. And people are buying it because it's cheaper. Some people we bring soft wood, a wood that termites can destroy for only 1 month. They will still reduce the cottage. They will still reduce and sell it for people, cut 1x1, selling it for people 2x2, and people will be rushing it. They will be buying it because it's cheaper. All those things will still give you problem in future. No matter how, it will still give you problem. We don't have, we don't have, it's what you did there. That's what we're going to install for you. You can't call me after 3 years that your house is leaking. I can never answer you. I just give you guarantee of 1 year. And that 1 year, I must note that is it my installation that is causing the leakage, or the design of the house, or the woodwork. Those are the things. It's very, very easy to note. If it is the woodwork that is causing the leakage between 1 year, I can help you out, assist you. This is what we are going to do. If it is my nail point that is causing the problem, I will seal it up. But when you call me after 3 years, some people will be calling after 3 years, after 4 years, that your house is leaking. Abba, a house that I did for 1 year, 2 years, it's not leaking, 3 years. You know that it's not my problem. It is the problem of the woodwork. The wood has started degrading. The wood has started changing. When you go to some houses, when you enter the ceiling, you will see all the 2x2. They've already taken another shape. They've bent, just because of they use stone coated. In fact, stone coated is helping a lot of houses. Because stone coated is very strong, it will not allow the wood to bend. That is why I advise a lot of people use more stone coated. Stone coated, and these days, stone coated is even more cheaper than the aluminium in some areas, in some states. Using stone coated, you will spend lesser wood, you will spend lesser money, everything, and you have rest of mind for a very long year, even after your pass on. The stone coated will still be there before you start doing maintenance. But see, everything, according to what I used to say, there is quality in everything. The person that use 1x1 as 2x2 to do a house, there is difference. The person that use full 2x2 to do a house, there is difference. There is difference in the durability of that house and the quality, and even the maintenance. There is difference. You cannot compare person that use long span with the person that use step ties and Metcopo. There is difference. The person that use long span may not have any maintenance in future. Person that use Metcopo, step ties, they will have maintenance. If a woodwork is well done, person that use stone coated is more superior than all of them, because stone coated will never give you any problem in future. So when you are using woodwork, when you are buying wood in the market, you see woodwork is a very paramount to a house. After you have finished your house, you are living there, your house start leaking, it started damaging your POP. You can't even sleep when rain is falling. That is the problem majorly. Those are the problem of wood. You can see this kind of wood that I'm showing now. You can see even without even spraying the wood. Everybody, you even note with your eye that this wood is superior wood. I mean, the thickness is valid. The quality of the wood is valid. So what can make, even in 100 years to come, what can make this wood to damage? No, you can never see. Because this wood is a superior wood. It's not all those people that will go to market and will be buying. They want to buy cheap wood. They want to buy one by one, and they will tell you that they carpenter will do it for you. Nice. I cannot come to your site and just badmouth what they've done there. It is what you have. That is what I've been explaining. It is what you explain. If you go to, some people will go to market one, carpenter will not ask you that. They will know. They know what they're selling in the market. Carpenter will not ask you that this wood is not good. They will do it for you. They will install it for you, and the roofer also will do their homework. When he started giving you problem now, it's you that will face the problem. That's why I'm explaining. I'm talking to the owner directly. When you are using things, you use quality so that you rest for life. The difference, they are even selling, some people nowadays in the market, they are selling one by one for you. They're selling one by one for you, even costlier than the 2x2. Some people are selling it the same price, but they're telling you this is 2x2, this is 1x1, this is 2x2, and they're giving you 1x1. They are still selling it for you the same price, but you don't know. Because you want to go, you talk to people who want to cheat you want to go to market and say, and get it yourself. Go with people that understand, that know. But what are you to advise people? Buy this wood in log. That one is even more cheaper for you. Buy this wood in log, cut it yourself. Some people tell you, this carpenter is giving me this amount. Reduce it yourself. Since you are going, all those things are accountable. Reduce it yourself. Let them start the work. Some people, I did a work in Ikorodu. When we are installing the roof, everything is shaking like this. All the roof is shaking, the woodwork. So thank God the man was there that day. So he has to go and buy more of the big wood and use to they now started supporting it from the down. You see, when the carpenter quote for them, they will say, what they did there now is that they follow the person that quoted the list. But what can the other person do is to reduce some wood now, where you're supposed to put 5 supporting pillars, you will put 2. So when you clamp on top now, everything will be shaking and you'll be nailing. So all those things are very critical. Let's check all those things. Let's go for quality. I'm also talking about window today. Window also, a lot of people, we just think that doing window, just put the glass and burglary. So as soon as you see window, also those things, there are quality in those things. There are quality in those things. Everything has quality. There are grade in those things. Most people now, they'll just tell you, they'll just give you a quotation of window. You don't even know what they are using. You go to you see some window like this, just be shaking. The burglary, they will just be used very thin iron inside, lesser that you don't supposed to even use for burglary. That's why when you see burglar in some houses, they'll just use hand to expand the burglary they will enter. You see, your burglary is supposed to be strong. The least you can use for burglary is 12 mm. I did one window. I'm just doing the installation today. We use 16 mm. That is what the person need. She says she needs 16 mm as the burglary, and she need 5 mm glass for the glass. That is what she need. And she know quality. She need thick profile. That's what she need. You see, there is difference between when you use 5 mm glass and 3 mm glass. Let's say you are using tinted glass now. That 5 mm is more deeper. Sorry, is more darker than that of 3 mm. When you are nagging it, you cannot see the outside very well, but 3 mm you may be able to, you can manage to see the inside. So all those things, there is difference. When you carry a window that they do with 16 mm, you know that you carry something. One person can carry the window that they do with 8 mm or 6 mm. People don't count all those things. Security, you see, security of the window is the burglary, and the future of the window, either it will either those things will start falling off. It's now depend on the quality. Either you are using just ordinary profile, or you are using thick one, or you are using this. Those things matters. Not just price. Everything has grade. It's the grade that you want to use. Aluminum to have grade. When you do a bad woodwork, I used to tell person, when you are doing a flat woodwork, there is some distance supposed to do for your house. When you are using, because you are managing, most people that are doing flat woodwork, they want to manage. So when they do the flat woodwork, they want to manage because they don't want to buy wood. Again, they will now still do poline. The poline spacing of the wood will now be like 1,800. When you use aluminum long span, it will give you problem in future. When you know you are using a flat woodwork, make sure the only thing that you are just buying more is just the poline, just the 2x3. Buy more 2x3, reduce the poline spacing. When they tell you that, carpenter will tell you that they are doing 700, reduce, let them do it 600. When they do it 600, the better for you. The lesser problem it give you. They just tell you that somebody just summarize that for long span they use 900, they use 1,000. No, it's not for everything. When the house is slope, you can use those. It will flow freely. But a flat house, because you are managing, you do. That's why most of those flat houses they do. Every year they leak. Every year. I have many people, a lot of people. I mean, I don't do repair for anybody. If I'm not the one that do, I don't do. A lot of people call me in Aja area, my house is leaking. They will send the picture, it's flat roof. I even put some in my TikTok account. You see, it's flat roof. Some people will do flat roof with distance poline spacing. They will now still use a flexible aluminum there. When you are using a flat roof, when the distance is too wide, why don't you go for 0.55 aluminum? You now still go for, some people will be using 0.3, and you will not be disturbing the person that installed it. You are the one that bought it. It's what you buy, the installer is going to do for you. Not that the installer don't know how to do work. All those things will still show their reaction, no matter how. You thought those thickness, you thought those thickness are just there because of price. No, now there is what they stand for a lot of things. That is why stone coated, the only leakage that you can observe in stone coated is when the design of the house is not good, like this one I showed you previously, or there is nail point, or the wood started degrading. That is the only way you can see a leakage of a stone coated. The only place you can never see stone coated just leaking anyhow, spoiling your thing, unless the woodwork is bad or the design of the house is bad. The only leakage you can see in stone coated is just the nail point, and after you have located it, you just seal it. That's all. Because stone coated is more stronger, is double coated, is very, very good. When the woodwork is good, stone coated is more reliable to everything. It's more reliable. It gives you rest of mind. Everything you want to do, it gives you rest of mind. So please, let's observe quality. Start from building of our house, starting from our foundation. Let's observe. There are some things that you can't boycott. You can't cut corner in those things. From your foundation, you can't cut corner. You can cut corner. You can reduce block of things when you are building. You may decide to use some 6 inches block instead of all those things. You can do it, but your foundation. And when you are using your pillars, you can't boycott pillars. Some people will tell you that don't do pillar here, do this one. It will affect your house. So please plan your house before you start doing it. If you know that your house can do this, plan your house very well, so that people will not be discarding. People will not be telling you. Some people will just be doing that. Let's do that. You do like that. All those things will have effect on the house. It will have effect one way or the other on the house. Have a plan and focus on your plan. And execute that your plan, everything will go well. Thank you very much for watching this episode. Bye.